In the Heights is out now in theaters, and it's also on HBO Max. I saw this in theaters on a Thursday because Warner Brothers is finally coming to their senses and understanding that we actually want Thursday screenings for their movies this year. I don't think that's gonna last very long. In the Heights is about a group of immigrants who live in Washington Heights in New York as they sing, dance, and express their feelings about their dreams to come in their neighborhood. This was a movie that had gotten a lot of buzz. I was really interested to check this movie out, and I'm going to be quite frank with you guys. Musicals are not really my thing. Disney movies that have musical numbers in them, those are exceptions. Like Aladdin, The Lion King, those are exceptions. But I did watch The Greatest Showman a few years ago, and I actually really did like The Greatest Showman, so it opened up a new avenue for me to talk about musicals. So here we are talking about In the Heights, and I really did enjoy In the Heights. I definitely think that this is a contender for one of the best of the year. I don't think it is the best. I think you're going to see it on a lot of best of the year lists at number one. I'm not there on this movie because I do have some issues with the movie, but first and foremost, let me talk about these musical numbers. Holy shit. All of the songs are instantly catchy. I loved every single song. It seemed like every song was really upbeat, and usually more upbeat songs for me are the ones that are more catchy as opposed to the somber and depressing, slow-burning songs or ballads that we get in these movies sometimes. But even when it seemed like they were going a bit with the slower stuff, there was always an upbeat tempo to these songs. There were so many different mixes of musical genres, everything from hip-hop to rap to pop to what feels like Bollywood dance numbers to what feels like you're watching an MTV music video to what feels like you're watching a flash mob. There's so much variety in the musical numbers themselves that really caught my attention, and really, if I had known the lyrics to the songs, I would have been singing along with them. They're that catchy. I think I've heard a better soundtrack for a musical in a while. This is definitely a soundtrack I'm going to listen to a lot on Spotify. Not a single bad song in this movie, and as I said, it feels like that they took a lot of inspiration from not just musicals released nationwide. It seems like they took a lot of inspiration from Broadway plays that have musical numbers, as well as films from other countries. Like I mentioned Bollywood. It seemed like there was a lot of influence from Bollywood movies in this film in terms of how they structured the choreography. The dancing and the choreography is just out of this world. Just knew how to maneuver everybody in and out of frame. Because the songs are so upbeat and up-tempo, everybody's moving to the beat of the musical number. I liked some breaking of the fourth wall in some of these songs. The opening musical number was by far the best song. Nothing topped that. That was about a 6 to 7 minute musical number, and nothing topped it in the movie. I'm just going to say that. And they did a lot of different things. Like, as I mentioned, breaking of the fourth wall. It never felt like they were talking to the audience, though. It never felt like they were just talking to the camera. It felt like these characters, when they did break the fourth wall and looked directly into the camera, it felt like they were actually talking to other characters that weren't present on the screen, or singing to other characters that weren't present on the screen. I thought it was a really unique stylistic choice. It was something I didn't expect from the film at all. And the choreography, the upbeat tempos, and the style of these songs really made for a unique viewing experience. I also have to mention that a lot of these songs felt like they were the actors just going into freestyle. It felt like they weren't reading off a lyric sheet, that they didn't have to remember lyrics. It just felt like somebody was just like, okay, we're doing a freestyle competition and go. And that's what it felt like. All these actors and actresses have great voices. None of it feels like they're lip syncing. None of it actually feels like it's somebody dubbing a singing voice over these actors and actresses, you know, using ADR and post-production to make it sound like that these actors are actually singing when they're really not, or they have terrible voices, because I highly doubt that that was the case, because they all got great voices. I highly doubt that was the case. For a movie like this, there's no way. No, there's no way you would ADR dub over somebody's voice because they sucked at singing. And plus, too, that's a huge slap in the face to the actor. Even if you can't sing, you're at least trying. Look at Pierce Brosnan in Mamma Mia. He can't sing. He tried. They didn't dub his voice over. There was no ADR to try and make him sound better, nor was he lip-syncing. I don't even like Mamma Mia, but Pierce Brosnan sang in that movie. And he did a fairly good job. He doesn't get the respect he deserves in that movie. However, what really keeps this movie from being a top movie of the year, it will probably be in my top 10 of the year, but it's not going to be the top movie of the year. There's just a few issues that I have with the movie that prevent that from happening. Mostly that the narrative gets really bogged down in these songs. A lot of the movie just feels like setup. Actually, most of the movie feels like setup. All of these songs are just characters singing about what they want. Feels like we never really actually see them try and achieve their dreams. This movie has a message about going to achieve your dreams and how you should go about achieving your dreams, and maybe your dream isn't all what it's made out to be. But this movie it lost me in that regard. I get what they were going for, but when the entire movie feels like setup in terms of the plot and the narrative, it doesn't really progress forward towards those goals for those characters. So in a way, I felt a little less invested in the actual story and more invested in the musical numbers. And maybe that was what the movie was trying to do. You know, a little bit of a story too, and I felt like I didn't really get that. I just got a bunch of different plot points that set things up, and then it didn't go anywhere. There's also a musical number in the middle of the movie that I thought had sub-problems within its own problem. Here's like, I don't know, more problems within that problem. First of all, in the middle of the movie, as I said, there's this musical number that, to me, it didn't feel like it was a movie. I felt like I was watching a Broadway musical number. I was at Broadway, sitting in the audience, watching this musical number on stage. I felt like I was no longer watching a movie. And it took me out of the movie for a minute. I know what I'm about to say. A lot of plays, whether they're on Broadway or they're not on Broadway, do this. It's a huge, huge thing with plays, but the same exact musical number had no emotional depth for me. Because what precedes this musical number is foreshadowing a tragic event. But then this musical number feels more upbeat and uplifting and happy and just fast-paced, that it really took away the emotional urgency that I was having for what the scene before the musical number actually set up. So when something tragic does happen after the musical number, I just lost all sense of emotional urgency, because we just really witnessed a song that was upbeat in tempo. We're supposed to have this feeling of sorrow and sadness, and we're supposed to be upset and mournful, but I never felt that with this musical number that occurs. It was definitely the most Broadway part of the movie, and I just felt like it didn't really fit into the movie. Even if you're not a fan of musicals, I would say give In the Heights a try. I really enjoyed the dancing, the choreography, the different styles of the songs, genres of the songs, the lyrics to the songs. This movie's actually a lot funnier than I thought it would be as well. Definitely give it a try, even if you're not a fan of musicals. It's just, I don't think it's the best movie of the year, and I think people are going to put it at that #1 spot. I just have a couple of problems that prevent it from being there, but I do think it is going to end up on my best of the year list, just not at #1. I want to say you're going to really enjoy In the Heights with a full bucket of popcorn. I finally ate a full bucket of popcorn at the movies. It was the first time in a while I had eaten a full bucket of popcorn at the movies, so I really am obligated, right, to give this that rating? What'd you guys think of In the Heights? Drop me some feedback in the comments section below. I'll leave my link to my website in the description below as well. You guys are the best. Thank you for watching. My name is Alex Madden, and I'll see you at the movies somewhere.